Hey there, and welcome to That's Audacious, where we share entrepreneurial stories from amazing leaders to inspire and motivate you to be bold, brave, and audacious. I'm your host, Lauren Clemett, the brand navigator, here to share stories that will make you say, well, that's audacious. On today's That's Audacious podcast, we have the fabulous Stacey Morgan from the Raw Awards. And I can't wait to really dig deep into Stacey's journey with these awards. Stacey is a multi-award winning entrepreneur herself. She's a business coach and she's incredibly passionate about helping leaders build thriving, purpose-driven businesses. She's got over 16 years experience. She's the founder of not one, but 2 dance studios. I think you're insane. And of course, a podcast production company. She's coaching businesses all over Australia, and she's worked with entrepreneurs around the globe to help them define, achieve, and celebrate success on their own terms. So an amazing woman, Stacey, also a mother of 3, busy family life, all the rest. I know you're hanging out for some holidays at the moment. It's been a crazy, hectic start to the year, but thank you so much for being here on the show. Stacey, tell us a little bit about why you got involved after all of those other things you're doing in running awards, in running a business award. Why were you attracted to start doing that?
Well, firstly, thank you so much for having me, because I'm more than happy to talk all things business and all things business awards any day of the week. But I'm thrilled to be here to be sharing it with you, because I know we're going to have a great conversation. But to tell you the truth, the first experience I had with business awards was when I was bullied into entering a business award by my business mentor. And I said to her, don't be ridiculous. I don't have time to do that. I'm so busy. I'm running this, I'm running that. I'm wearing the marketing hat and the HR hat and also delivering all of the services themselves. I don't have time to write a business award submission. And she said, you're going to do it and you're going to enjoy it. And it's going to be so worthwhile, because people are going to hear about you who haven't heard about you before. You're going to have the opportunity to celebrate your business with your team. You're going to have the chance to get in front of your local community and be seen, be able to explain what you do. And most importantly, you're going to learn about your business. And I said, okay, well, I guess I will. And I entered, and I tell you what, from that point, I was hooked. And so I entered one category in that very first business awards, and that was, 16 years ago now. And then from that point onwards, I made a point of entering as many business awards in as many categories as possible, because she was exactly right. Not only did I learn about my business, but I also had the opportunity to showcase my business on a local or state or national stage. I had the chance to meet other business owners that could, inspire me to do better in my business and to improve and grow my business. And I also had the chance to win a trophy, and who doesn't like to win a trophy? So that was how my business journey started, how my business awards journey started. So when the opportunity came up for me to run my own awards program, I was like, this is a no-brainer. I love awards. I had somehow become my own mini cheerleader for awards and awards programs. It was a natural progression for me to go on to run an awards program. And I've been doing it for 3 years now, and gosh, it's rewarding. I might even think, in the awards process, it's actually even more fun to be handing out the trophies than to be winning the trophies themselves. So I'm really lucky. I'm still very involved. I enter business awards all the time with my own businesses. And then I also get to run the Raw Awards, and that's just such a joy.
I love it. Don't you love it when a mentor is right? It's sort of like, oh gosh, darn it, you were right the whole time.
And we still work together, and she still laughs about it. And she still, it's the biggest I told you so, because it's just gone, I've just gone from strength to strength to strength. And she's like, yeah, well, I said it all along.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So there are lots and lots of awards around now. I mean, probably when you first started, there weren't as many around, but there seems to be just awards for Africa now. Why do you think we need the Raw Awards? What is it about them? Something that makes them different or unique or valuable? Why do we need the Raw Awards in our lives?
This is why I was so attracted to the Raw Awards, because I've been, being an advocate for business awards, I've sat in plenty of ballrooms. I've sat at plenty of round tables and made small talk and, gone up onto the stage and accepted my award. And, that's all well and good. And it's very exciting the first time that you do it. But what attracted me to the Raw Awards was it was so different to that kind of stuffy, sit down, have a 3-course meal feel. The Raw Awards is a party. The Raw Awards is the biggest celebration of business and what you're doing in business. And that was really attractive for me, because I feel like sometimes on my business journey, I was quite lonely. I didn't really think that many people understood what I was trying to achieve or my vision. And, you know, I'm the one doing the late nights and working really hard, and often that's on my own. And the Raw Awards, the Raw community, the Raw network was this group of people who got it, people who understood, people who were like, yes, I'm doing this too. Like, it's not just you burning the midnight oil. I'm hustling too. I'm really getting it done. I want to grow my business. I want to make a difference. I want to make an impact. And I was really attracted to that. So the Raw Awards itself, and why you need the Raw Awards in your life, is because it's great to know that you're not alone. It's great to know that you are making an impact in the world, and putting together a Raw Award submission will really not only identify that for the judges, but give you that satisfaction for yourself. Yes, you are making a difference. And then getting to come to the party, getting to come to the awards itself, getting to celebrate with other business owners, have the opportunity to shine, have the opportunity to really pat yourself on the back or reward your team and get excited with your team about the great things that you're doing. There's just nothing quite like it. And I'm so thrilled that now it's you know, part of what we do, and getting to create a different experience, a different party atmosphere every year for the Raw Awards is a really special part of my job.
I love it. There is something to be said for that ability to let your hair down and just for the moment to bask in the light of what you're achieving, isn't it? So often in business, we focus on the next thing, you know, what we have to achieve tomorrow or our plans. Everyone says, oh, where do you want to be in 5 years? And we forget to look at where we've come from in 5 years and what we've done and how we've changed and the achievements and things we've had, and also the struggles and the challenges we've overcome. Awards is a really great way to reflect on all of that, isn't it? What do you think it is, Stacey, that holds most people back from entering awards? What are some of the big barriers?
Well, I think a lot of us in business, because we are on this quite lonely journey, we think that our story's not special. We think, oh, well, it's just, you know, I'm just doing my job. I'm just kind of getting from one thing to the next. Exactly what you said, like, what's next? What's next? We get this achievement, we hit this goal, we reach this target. What's next? Where are we going next? And so we're not used to stopping and pausing and reflecting and celebrating. And I think that holds a lot of people back. They kind of go, well, you know, I could stop and celebrate, but I've got so much more to do, and the to-do list is growing, and I better get that done instead. When actually entering an awards not only is a great reflective process and that opportunity to pause, but it's a really great opportunity for growth. And I think if a lot of people really understood that, they'd be so much keener to actually enter awards, because the opportunity to get in front of new audiences, the opportunity to really quickly build that know, like, and trust factor with a new audience member. They see you on stage holding a trophy. They see you as the winner of your category, as someone who's achieving on a national level like that. That the power of that for someone who's never heard of you to go from that through that customer journey to knowing and liking you, trusting you happens so much quicker when you can have some kind of validation like winning an award. And so I think the things that hold people back, oh, I'm not sure if, you know, I've got anything to say. I'm not sure what I'd write in the submission. I don't think what we're doing is very special. Like that, I call like absolute bollocks to all of that, because no matter what your business is, you've got a story to tell. No matter what industry you're in, no matter who you're serving, you have a business story to tell about your own journey, but the brand you're building also has a story to tell. And the more you talk about that and the more opportunity you get to get that in front of new audiences, the more new customers you're going to see, the more sales you're going to make. And it's a no-brainer for me that entering business awards is so much more than just the trophy. It's an opportunity to grow, and that's going to happen personally and professionally if you put yourself out there and enter the Raw Awards.
Yeah, fantastic. It's that branding by association, isn't it? Just being involved with the awards.
Absolutely.
Whether you win, just having that opportunity to reflect on what you're achieving and the things you overcome, but also, as you said, the confidence you get when you realize that what you're doing is award worthy. It's a real mind flip that
yes,
to understand what their value is. So tell us a little bit more about the Raw Awards specifically. When do they open? What sort of categories are there? What do people have to do? Is there a particular process? And what else do we need to know about the Raw Awards?
We try and keep it as simple as possible because we know that business owners are busy, right? We know that you've already got a to-do list that's as long as your arm and you're working through it every day. So we don't want to overcomplicate things, but we do want to give you the opportunity to put your best foot forward in front of our judges. So our awards are opening in March, and we are having our big awards night on June the 21st up in Brisbane, and we're super excited about that. But the great thing about the Raw Awards is that there are so many different categories you can enter, no matter whether you're running a products business, a service business, whether you're a local business, a national business, a global business, there are categories for you. And the great thing about the Raw Awards as well is that there are 43 categories. So there are lots of opportunities for you to get on stage. There's lots of opportunities for you to tell your story to the judges. One of the things that really attracted me to the Raw Awards in the beginning was it wasn't just categories about, you know, hairdresser of the year and teacher. Like, the categories themselves were so interesting, and they really helped tell the story of the business owners that were entering. We have the Fearless Educator category, Wildcat of the Year, Retail Rockstar, the Hustle and Heart Award, the award for the Social Change Hero. We have these great categories that you can really take your business journey and shape the stories that you have to tell around each of these categories. And if you're smart enough to enter several categories, it means that you get to tell, you know, different stories in different parts of your business. You have to enter a couple of, you have to answer a couple of questions. It's not just about, you know, nominating yourself and throwing in your headshot and going and hoping for the best. You do need to answer some questions. You do need to think about what you're saying to the judge and how you're telling that story to the judge. But that's your story to tell. So it's not like you've got to go and do days and weeks of research. It's just telling your story. And then we also have the opportunity for you to provide supporting documentation, because you don't only just want to be able to put it into words. Some of us tell better stories through photos, through videos, through the opportunity to speak to camera, or to speak not to camera for those people who are afraid of doing that. It's great to have the opportunity to be able to say it, yes, as part of your submission, but then also to back it up with all of the visuals and all of the pretty things that really shows the judge that not only do you have a great business story, but you also really understand the category that you're entered and you're really worthy of that win.
Yeah, I love it. Stacey, I really love the category descriptions. There's something about them that is incredibly leverageable. So as you say, retail rock star, not just retailer of the year. This is like rock star retailer, hustle and heart. There's making waves. There's some really, when we talk to people about awards, it's often, okay, yep, that's great, you're entering the awards, but what are you going to do with it? And the ability that the Raw Awards provide to tell stories and weave beautiful, compelling narratives through what they're doing with their social media and their blogging and all this stuff, because of the categories that you have, just extraordinary. You can get so creative with it. It's brilliant. I love it. Now, beyond the trophy, what do you think the real tangible benefits are that people can gain from entering awards in general, but specifically the Raw Awards, in terms of what it does for people's businesses? Because so many people sort of ask me, is it really worth it? Is it really worth the effort to do it? What are some tangible things? Maybe you've got some examples of people who've won and what they've gone on to do, and how they've leveraged their awards.
I think first and foremost, the Raw Awards is really different because we provide feedback from the judges. So for those people who are thinking, is it really worthwhile? Absolutely. You're not only going to get the opportunity to get on stage and to get that profile and that brand building that you're after, but you'll also have the opportunity to get some real life feedback from people who are in the trenches running very successful businesses from all around the world, who are part of our incredible judging team. They're going to give you feedback not only on your submission, but also on things that you're doing within your business. So you have that opportunity for that feedback, which is, really unique to the Raw Awards. You then have, the opportunity for all of that internal feedback that you're going to get when you have to answer a question about customer service, or you have to answer a question about your goals. Like, you might read some of these questions and go, challenges? I don't know, what have been my challenges? And it really kind of makes you think about your business from an outsider's perspective. Sometimes we're in our businesses so much that we can't actually see the forest for the trees. We can't see the outside perspective. But entering the Raw Awards gives you that chance to really have a look at your business from that angle and go, okay, well, I don't have any goals that I'm thinking about. Well, that's as a business owner, that's a problem. I need to have some goals. So how about I take this opportunity not only to write to the judges about my goals, but actually to set some goals for my business, so that this time next year, I've got things to measure it by. I've got things that I can see that I've been able to achieve. So those tangible things are, so worthwhile when it comes to the growth of yourself personally and also of the business. And then it comes to, down to how much you want to leverage the awards, because you can write your submission, send it off, and then do nothing else with it. And you're really not going to get the kind of bang for your buck that other people entering awards are going to get. So you want to get involved. You want to be part of the Facebook group and the community of people who have entered. You want to go to the event itself so that you can meet these people in person, have conversations, build collaborations. Perhaps you want to go live on your socials in collaboration with somebody else who has entered. And again, lift the profile for both of you as entrants or finalists or, award winners of the awards. You maybe want to take the submissions that you've written for the judges and get ChatGPT to turn that into 50 social posts for you. And there's your social media schedule for the rest of the year, because often some of the stuff that we're saying to the judges as part of the submissions is really good stuff about our businesses that perhaps our audiences don't already know. So you want to be able to take and leverage all of that hard work that you're putting into it to get it to, do as much as it can for you to really maximize the opportunity. And of course, I love buying a new dress. If you come into the awards, you get to get a new outfit.
Nothing better, eh? Nothing better. I love it. And it is an exciting part of business, and it's an opportunity to add awards to your marketing budget because, like I say, it's third-party endorsement on steroids, which is brilliant. So you are listening to the That's Audacious podcast. We can find more episodes like this one on all of your favorite podcast platforms, or of course right here on the That's Audacious website. What I'd love to know from you, Stacey, is what have you learned yourself, being someone who's entered awards yourself as business? Now you're running awards. What are some of the really eye-opening things that you've learned now that you've seen both sides of the curtain, from being an entrant to being someone who runs awards? What's some real eye-opener stuff that you've noticed?
When I first entered, and, as I told you, I was bullied by my business mentor. I didn't really know what I was doing. I kind of just, told the story, made sure I got to the word count, threw it in and hoped for the best. And let's be honest, I didn't do terribly well in those first couple of years. But what I learned from that process, and what I've learned from being on the other side of the curtain now, is that quite often we are really shy about our achievements in business. And entering the Raw Awards or entering any business award is not the time to be humble. It is not the time to let that imposter syndrome tap you on the shoulder and take over. It is the time to shine. And so that has been a big learning for me in doing my own submissions for my own awards, but it's also been a big piece of the feedback that I've been able to give to Raw Awards entrants in the past. Yes, it's okay. It's great to be able to tell us that your business has grown. By how much? In what measurement? Is it your profit? Is it your revenue? Is it your amount of views to your website? Is it what do those numbers look like? And how can you prove to us that you're not just kind of making this stuff up as you go along? You actually have the metrics to prove it. And that was something I didn't realize the importance of in the early days. I used to just say, oh yeah, we do great things and I like my job and everything's great. But the feedback of, okay, well, it's one thing for you to say it, now show it to me, has been super important. So for me, that's been a really big learning on both sides. I've had to learn in order to improve my own submissions, to get those numbers and to really understand. And it's given me a great insight into my businesses as well, what's working and what's not. And then also to make it a really clear part of the feedback that we're giving to our entrants and potential entrants. Hey, we want to hear how great you are. It's not the time to be humble. Come in and brag about all the fabulous things you're doing, but also back it up with the metrics to go with it. Prove to us that your business has grown. Prove to us that you have more customers. You don't have to put, if you don't want to share your financials, I'm not saying you have to open your full kimono, but give us a percentage. My business has grown by 2%. Great. The judges even want to hear if your business hasn't grown by 2%, because that just shows that you, A, have the insight of where it's at, and B, if you can also tell the judges what you're doing about that, then happy days. They just want to know that you had that insight into your business and that you really have a clear understanding of it and that you know what to do about it in order to be the best leader possible.
Yeah, that's really important insight, Stacey, because quite often people think, oh, I haven't had a very good year, or, it's been really tough. We've had to downsize. Judges know, don't they, that being a business isn't all beer and skittles. It's not all rainbows and unicorns.
Right.
There's like this all the time.
Yeah.
You say, as long as you can include in there, okay, we've recognized this, we've pivoted, we've adapted, we've changed these things, we've relaunched ourselves, or whatever it is, we've stopped doing that, we've started. As long as you can show the judges that you've actively done something about that, or that maybe you wanted to downsize. Maybe downsizing was the best thing you could have done for your business, because now you've got a happier team and happier clients, or whatever it is. So I love the fact that with the Raw Awards, it's not absolutely necessary that you have your financials, which is everyone thinks, oh, I've got to have all these lovely numbers, but having the figures and the understanding of the metrics to be able to paint a picture for the judges of what's really going on and why your business is achieving what it's doing. So that's lovely. For our listeners, we'll obviously have some links at the bottom of this interview for them to go and find out more about the Raw Awards. We'll have links to social media and so on. But is there anything you would like to leave them with in terms of encouragement specifically around the Raw Awards, maybe some tips or some insight or a case study or something, some sort of example of someone who's done really well with the Raw Awards, or something that people might not know about them that would be really helpful for them?
I think some of the most rewarding stories that have come from my Raw Awards journey have been people who haven't necessarily had big businesses, or they haven't had businesses that they necessarily were really proud of in terms of what they had achieved. And then they decided to step out of their comfort zone, enter the Raw Awards, and from the confidence that they've gained from not only entering, but coming to the event itself, and then being able to meet other people, collaborate with other people, learn, be inspired by other people, and then come back the next year and maybe enter a couple more categories and come back and come to the event again. I've seen people just in the last 3 years go from people who are really hesitant to enter to people who are now, really fired up to grow and scale their businesses and get to know others and network and put themselves in, situations that they perhaps wouldn't have been brave enough to do in the past. Being able to watch that evolution of a business owner has been so incredibly rewarding. And I've seen it happen a couple of times in a couple of different categories. And I just love the opportunity to get in a room with other people who love business. I mean, I don't think any of us really started out because we loved business itself. We loved whatever the product was that we were selling. We loved the service that we were able to provide. And the business stuff, sometimes we just learn along the way. But when you kind of enter a business award and you get that fire around your goals and your challenges and what you want to do and how you want to grow it and how you want to get it bigger, it gets you fired up. And when you get all those people in the same room at the same time that are all fired up about their businesses and, really ready to blow the roof off, it's really special. And I can't quite even put that into words. So it's been really rewarding for me to be able to watch those business owners have that evolution. It's exciting to know that I've got so many people who are going to be re-entering again this year. The great thing about the Raw Awards is you don't have to enter the same categories every year. You can try something different. When you try a new category and have to answer questions based on your hustle and heart, or based on you making a difference, you have to think about it with a different part of your brain. You have to think about it in terms of something different, and that often gives you insight and ideas and excitement in order to innovate in a different part of your business. And so the benefits are just come from all angles. And so I'm excited to see who's going to be entering this year, and to read all of their submissions, because I get, as the owner of the awards, I get to read about what everyone's doing. And my goodness, if you want to be inspired, that's a great place to start, because there are business owners all over the country doing incredible things, and I just love it.
Brilliant. I love it. It is really, that's the name of the awards, isn't it? The Raw Awards. It's the personal development, and the fact that people do stand up and shout about, oh my goodness, this is what we're doing. This is what everybody's achieving. And it's sad in this country that we live in that the media don't get behind small business achievements and accomplishments anywhere near as much as they should do.
Yeah.
We have to pat ourselves on the back and support each other. And I've been there too in the awards rooms with the Raw Awards to see that collaboration and that networking and those connections happen over awards. And it's just brilliant to surround yourself with a room full of winners, and to really tap into that self-development around self-worth and, keep backing ourselves as business owners. It's just phenomenal. Stacey, thank you so much for being on the That's Audacious podcast with me today. All of the links and all the contact details will be there for everyone who wants to know more about the Raw Awards. We highly recommend that you take a look at all those amazing categories. Don't just enter one, enter a few of them. Stacey was telling me before we started that the entry fees have not changed in the last few years, so it's still a really economical awards to enter. They're Australian-wide. They're open to males and females, all sorts of different sizes and types of businesses. And there's definitely a category or two there for you. So thank you, Stacey, for being part of the amazing podcast that we have today, but also for all of the incredible work that you do to support businesses and shine a light on what they're doing. It's just phenomenal.
This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to the That's Audacious podcast. Remember, there's no place for modesty in business, and you do deserve to be well known, well paid, and wanted. For more episodes, please subscribe to the podcast on your favourite channel or follow us online. The links are in the description below.